Hey, how's it going, everybody? Jeremy Langlois here at Houmas House Estate and Gardens. Absolutely a beautiful day today. Another beautiful day here on the property, and we're going to get to cooking. We're going to cook one of our signature dishes that we serve at Houmas House. We serve it at a bunch of our restaurants. One, it's going to be a crab cake with spiked with mango with some chipotle remoulade sauce. Right before we got started, as you can see, just a big, nice, beautiful day today. We even have a few guests on property. Our restaurants are still open for takeout, so feel free to go on our website to get more information. Also, our recipes can be found there as well. But we are doing takeout food 7 days a week from 11 till 7 every day. And also, a lot of our guests choose to eat on the property. Once we give it to them takeout, we have plenty of space, plenty of open grounds, plenty of room for some social distancing during this time, and you can enjoy your meal right here on property or take it with you. But with that said, we're going to get to cooking our dish. So the dish we're serving today is a crab cake spiked with mango with chipotle remoulade sauce. And this dish has just become one of our signature dishes here at Houmas House. It's a dish that I created for the menu all the way back when I was just a young tadpole in 2005 when we first opened up the restaurant, and it just became one of these dishes that we could never take off the menu, or there would be riots in the street because people have just seemed to like it so much. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get to it. So since we're making a crab cake, of course, the first thing we're going to do is start off with crab. Now, I'm using two different pieces of the crab. I'm using crab claw meat and I'm using jumbo lump crab meat. So I'm just going to put that right into the bowl. Now, why am I doing that? Well, for two different reasons. You know, I absolutely love the beautiful big lumps of crab that you get. Just one of the best seafoods you can have. But I also find the claw meat adds some texture, and the claw meat has a different flavor and a better crab flavor. So I like to combine the two different elements 50-50. So half claw meat, half crab meat. Then all we're going to do is just start to add some ingredients. Like everything we almost always do, we're going to add some Trinity. So this is going to be some onions. I'm using red onions today, just raw, just fine diced, red bell pepper, and some celery. And then now what we're going to do is add some mango. You know, mango just complements crab so well. Mango and crab go hand to hand. They both have just a great sweetness to it. And mango is just one of my favorite fruits, bar none. I just find it just has a great flavor. But a lot of people, if you haven't really messed with mango, I kind of wanted to show you, talk just quickly about it and tell you how you go about dicing a mango if you're not sure. Because it can be a little bit tricky, but I'm gonna show you how to do it right now. So a mango itself, which I've already just used the knife just to peel away as much of that outside skin as possible. Some people, you can use a potato peeler, but I just use a knife, being careful not to take off too much meat as you cut it. And then the thing about a mango is it has an oblong seed in the middle. So what I do is I always cut, anytime I'm cutting anything, I like to flatten off one side so it's flat on your cutting board. And then I just put my knife down until I hit a seed, and that's gonna tell me where the seed is. And I just kind of cut my knife around it. And then from that point, I can take and I can dice this meat up. It just makes it real simple, but I got some diced mango right here. That's gonna go into our bowl with the crab meat. And I'm gonna add a little bit of fresh parsley as well. Now these are all the fresh ingredients I'm gonna add to it. Now we're gonna add some binders to it. So I have some good old mayonnaise that I'm gonna put in here, and a little bit of Creole mustard. And what we're doing is just looking to add enough to coat all these beautiful ingredients together. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get in there, have it all mixed up in here, and what I'm gonna do is just gently mix it. Now, believe it or not, the mixing is the most critical part of making a crab cake. Now, why is that? Well, if you go shopping and you go look at crab prices, jumbo lump crab meat is the highest priced crab meat you can buy. And the reason for that is because you have these nice, big, beautiful lumps of crab meat, and you only get 2 lumps out of each crab. So it's very expensive and it's very delicate. So the last thing we would want to do is then put all these beautiful jumbo lumps in the bowl and then break them up by over mixing them. If you were going to do that, you could just use a claw or a back fin crab, which is already the broken up bits of jumbo lump. So we're just looking to gently toss or gently fold that mayonnaise and that Creole mustard with the fresh ingredients that we have chopped in there. At this point as well, right before we add the breadcrumbs, I like to season it with some salt and some pepper. And now we're gonna add breadcrumbs. Let's talk about breadcrumbs real quick. I'm using some seasoned Italian breadcrumbs. Now there's a bunch of different options in, like a lot of dishes, chefs and cooks, everybody does crab cakes their own way. There's thousands of different ways to make a crab cake. This is just my version. I like to use the Japanese breadcrumbs. I have used breadcrumbs like panko breadcrumbs in the past, which are the coarse Japanese breadcrums. And those can be great too. They make a great crust when you saute your crab cake. However, what I find is because the breadcrumb itself is so coarse that as the crab cake sits, it starts to absorb a lot of the ingredients more, and it just becomes real bready. And the last thing we want is too much breading. We want just enough breading to hold our crab cake together. We're making a crab cake, not a bread cake. So as we just start to incorporate some of that breadcrumbs in, again, just enough to hold it together, and we're gonna form these crab cakes very loosely. Just a personal preference on my end, but I like the rustic loose crab cake as opposed to a crab cake that's perfectly shaped like a hockey puck. Nothing against that per se, but I just find you have to add a little bit more breading than you would want to get it to hold that shape. And I prefer my crab cake to be fluffy and very delicate. Then once we have that, all these ingredients mixed in, one thing you can see is there's nothing raw in this crab cake. Some crab cakes call that you crack an egg as part of the binder, and that's fine. But what I like about this dish is that there's no raw ingredients, so we're not looking to cook anything that's in the crab cake. We're just looking to heat it up. The crab meat itself is cooked already. It's already been poached. So what we're doing is we just want to heat these ingredients, and then also we have all the beautiful raw vegetables, the onions and the celery and the bell peppers. Now, sometimes in some crab cakes you would actually saute, some recipes you would saute those ingredients first and add it to the crab cake. I don't like to do that because I prefer the texture and the crunch of the raw vegetables. I find it gives the crab cake a different dimension and just a different flavor from having the sauteed vegetables. I like the texture you get from it. Now as that starts, now all we're doing is, I just added a little oil to a hot pan, and we're just looking to start to get some color and brown the crab cake. Just looking to get good color on each side, a couple minutes of saute on each side just to warm that crab cake up. While that's over here doing its thing, we'll get this out of the way, we're gonna make our chipotle remoulade sauce. Now this remoulade sauce is just, this is a very simple, very basic remoulade sauce with only a few ingredients. So let's get to it. There's, again, remoulade sauces. There's the red Creole remoulade. There's the French style mayonnaise-based remoulade. That's what we're gonna be doing today. We're gonna start with a little bit of mayo, a little bit of Creole mustard. As you see, similar flavors that we've already been working with. I'm gonna juice 1 lemon into it. There we go. And now I'm gonna add my chipotle pepper. Now what is chipotle pepper? Chipotle pepper is actually not a pepper that's called chipotle. Chipotle just means a smoked jalapeno pepper, and you find them in 2 different versions. You find either a dried chipotle pepper or a canned chipotle pepper packed in a little sauce. I like getting the canned chipotle pepper, and then what I do is I open a can, I put it right in the blender, and then I puree it really well, and it makes this great chipotle paste. And I just add, this is real spicy, great little chili paste, and I'm gonna add it right to it. Now I wanted to talk about some substitutions you can do. Another popular thing that we could do as well is I got some sriracha here. You could do the exact same recipe, but instead of adding the chipotle paste to your remoulade sauce, you could put some squeezes of sriracha, and that makes a really interesting, great spicy remoulade as well. We like adding a little bit of that spice to the remoulade because we have this, it's gonna contrast with the sweetness of the crab cake from the sweet crab and the mango. We're just gonna mix all that in. Always come back with a little bit of salt and pepper. If it's a little too thick, I like to add a little more lemon juice to it because I love having the extra acidity. And then also, if you really wanted to enliven this remoulade as well, you can easily add some chopped onions and bell peppers to it as well. Just the reason we don't do that as a restaurant is because we actually wind up putting our remoulade sauce in a squeeze bottle and it would just get stuck in the tip. But at home, I sometimes like to have a remoulade sauce with a lot of texture in it. So now that we got our crab cake sauteed off, we got our remoulade sauce beautifully mixed up, I'm gonna start by going to our plate now. Let's talk about these plates. Now, if you ever are a guest here at Houmas House you'll see that we serve all of our dishes on these plates right here. What these plates are these are recreations of the original china here at Houmas House, which I have on this table as well. This plate and these tureens and pitchers, these are General Wade Hampton's original china here at Houmas House from Limoges, France, and these date back to 1820, and just one of the really unique, interesting things that you will find here at Houmas House. So we love just using as much of the property here at Houmas House as possible. So we love that we have recreated this china right here. Let's go ahead and get some of this, smear this remoulade sauce on. We are then going to put our crab cake, which again, we just sauteed it. Look how beautiful that is. We just sauteed it real quickly on each side just to get some good color, and again, just to heat everything through. There's no raw egg or anything like that in here, so we just want to warm up that crab meat very delicately. And then to finish it off, we're going to add a drizzle of our herb olive oil made with herbs grown right here in our garden. Just a little splash of a red wine reduction that we use for a little bit of flavor or color. And then we're going to come back and have these beautiful chive flowers I just picked a couple hours ago out of our garden, and we're going to top them off right here and add it to our crab cake. And there you go, guys, our crab cake enlivened or spiked with mango with our chipotle remoulade sauce. Again, y'all stay safe out there. And we're serving dinner and takeout food here at Houmas House 7 days a week, 11 through 7. Would love to cook for y'all and have y'all come check out these beautiful gardens on this beautiful day, and we'll see y'all next week. Thank y'all.